All right, kids, you know the deal. We're gathered here tonight for our PMP night flight. We do it once a week on Wednesdays. If you're new to the show, welcome aboard. Great to have you. If you're an old friend, great to see all our familiar names out there. Your Scarlet Fires, your Don Peraltas, your Ragmans, your Noemis, of course, your Leah Phillipses, your James Lazzotis, on and on and on it goes. Hey, I'm here to tell you something. I'm here to give everybody a little message right now. It's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be okay. Yeah. In fact, we're going to go deep into the game tonight. We got a lot to talk about, but I feel fine. Now, granted, it didn't work out tonight. 113, 116, your final. But I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. I believe that in my heart and soul, Tony. How you doing tonight, brother?
Paulie, you said the word gathered, and I just wanted to say, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Right. So we're gathered here today to get through this thing called Game 5. OK, because we're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Right.
We gathered here today to get through this thing we call Game 5 with the echo and stuff. Yeah. By the way, shout out to Prince's guitar playing on that track. He tears it up on that. That's kind of why I got into Prince early, because he always had the heavy guitars in his stuff. I'm like, I love this guy. Anyway, Tony, no, it's going to be okay. We're here. We're gathered to get through this thing called Game 5. No problem. No question. Yeah. We're here to do that for you, Tony. And we also, our Giants have been scuffling a little bit. They got swept down at San Diego, so they lost that 2-game set. They're back home. They'll take on the Rockies tomorrow in San Francisco. But Tony and I were talking before the show, and without any further delay, because I want to talk a lot about this game tonight. I want to talk about Longbridge Pizza right out of the gate. Tony, myself, our art director, Don Peralta, and the main man, Neil Donardi, the grand poobah down at Longbridge Pizza. We had a little powwow today. We had a, what I would call, Tony, a very long, leisurely, and beyond satisfying lunch. To the point, I have not eaten since Longbridge. Have you? I bet you haven't either. Have you eaten a damn thing? Nothing.
I have not.
So full. Yeah.
Stuffed, man, but I feasted on my favorite pie is the mushroom pie, and Neil revealed today that he thinks it's his favorite pie too. So that's what I feasted on. And I know you had the chicken parm, the two different versions of chicken parm. I think Dom had the gabagool, which is the Italian meats, cured meats sandwich.
I'll tell you one thing, Tony. I'm a fan of Italian meats, cured meats. Stack them up nice and high. By the way, I had my hands in that Vinny's gabagool too. That was the first thing I attacked because Neil came out. That's what I'm telling you about Longbridge Pizza, man. If you haven't been down there to 3rd Street yet, do stop on by 2347 3rd Street. The laid back vibe, the serious pizza. The vibe is real. By the way, Neil is so cool. He kind of generated an entire Grateful Dead playlist for me today, knowing I'm like hot off the sphere. Let's see, Longbridge Pizza set list today. I got I got How Sweet It Is by the Garcia Band. I got a Help Slip Franklin's. Tony, I got a West LA Fadeaway. It was just kept coming and coming. And that's what I'm talking about. The vibe, Tony, the vibe at Longbridge. It's like tailor-made for guys like us.
Hey, don't sleep on it. I got a Wilson. I got a fish Wilson. I got a fish tube. I think I got a fish taste. So it was also catering to my fishy vibes after Bill Graham Civic, after the show Bill Graham Civic. So, but also, Paulie, it's the vibe. It's not just the food, it's the vibe. And Neil sets the vibe. It's like, it's almost like today he gave me the feel that he was welcoming us into his home. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how it felt. The meal that we had. That's what it felt like. And I feel like that's how he takes pride. And it's like he's welcoming you into his extended home, his extended family. So the mushroom pizza was great today. And also I had a Tiny Pliny. Neil just kind of slid that over to me, Tiny Pliny. Oh, by the way, he also gave me this Hum Baby beer that I'm going to crack in a second from Altamont beer. It's called the Hum Baby Pale Ale. So that's damn good stuff too. But 2347 3rd Street, dude. Okay, it's on. Game 6 is Friday at Chase Center. If you're going to the game, get your pregame on at Longbridge. If you're not going to the game, watch the game at Longbridge, okay? And then also Giants Rockies are in town. Dude, the city's going to be buzzing this weekend, especially on Friday, because you got Giants Rockies Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got May the 4th be with you on Sunday with the Giants giveaway. I think Logan Webb is on the hill for that. Anyways, so
that sounds right. Webb pitched last night. He took the loss too, unfortunately. They roughed him up a little bit. But Tony's right. I mean, the spread that Neil laid out for us today is what's waiting for you. If you haven't been down to Longbridge yet, do yourself a favor, man. You're going to get treated like family, just like Tony just explained. I had the chicken parm. I had a slice or a wedge, rather, of Vinny's gabagool. It was outstanding. I could have just eaten that and been happy. But then he comes out with the chicken parm, and then he drops the Polly Mac pizza right in the middle of the table. Don Peralta scurried up to the front. He's like, yo, give me that Polly Mac secret stash. Bam. He he comes back with the peppers. So we're peppering up. And then, bro, I'm driving home from the city, and my car smelled like Longbridge. I'm like, God, I'm kind of hungry again. But what this is shaping up for, Tony, is the food was so satisfying, so plentiful that I haven't touched a bite since lunch. But after the show tonight, don't think I'm going upstairs to heat up the oven. I'll have a couple late night slices, just as a little nightcap. And by the way, so Longbridge Pizza, we love Neil. We're so proud to have him as a sponsor and good friend. And you guys should go check it out if you haven't done so yet, Tony.
Yes, Paulie, I have 2 words for you as we wrap up Longbridge right here. 2 words for you, Paulie. Pizza, porn. Can I give you some pizza porn on the way out here? So stand by.
Have you broken into my phone or something? Because it sounds like you're stealing my files. Because you're not going to find any naked girls on my phone, but you will find galleries of different pizzas. It's a true story.
I might find naked pictures of Jimmy Butler on your phone based on the show yesterday.
That's not I feel zero shame with that, dude. My attraction to Jimmy Butler is growing by the day. Although I got to tell you, kidding aside, it was rough. He had a rough night tonight. I mean, all our starters had a rough night tonight.
But Paulie, pizza porn for you, real quick. This is from Steven. Steven is the guy. He's like the artistic director for Longbridge. We have Don Peralta as our artistic director. They've got Steven. Steven put these together. Today's Chicken Parm Wednesday. Tomorrow is their Detroit style square pie. So look at this, buddy. Look at this action right now.
Oh, for the love of Christ. Oh my God.
Look at the crispy edges. Look at the crispy edges.
I see it. Tony, I'm not going to lie. I'm getting aroused. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But that is a great looking wedge of pie right there. Yeah.
I got one more because today was Chicken Parm Wednesday. Here you go. Here's some chicken parm porn.
Dude. Yeah. You see what's happening. And then you see how he gives you the cup full of extra sauce. I was slam dunking my chicken parm in that sauce all day. In fact, I got so gangster with it, dude. I started spooning the sauce. I don't know if you caught my maneuver. I was spooning the sauce onto my sangi. I don't know if you caught that. Yeah.
You know what I did? I actually had extra dough, which then also the dough is sourdough, but I actually had extra sourdough that I was dunking into the sauce for the chicken parm. So, anyways, Longbridge Pizza 2347. Get there. They also deliver. Have at it. Enjoy the vibes, and you won't, as Mike Damone says, you won't regret it.
No, Dave, listen, we love the pizza and you will too. Thank you very much, Tony. I want to start with a question for you tonight. Kind of I got questions and now you better have answers. Damn it. No, I'm just kidding. This ain't a classroom, man. We're here to have some fun.
Hold on, Paulie, come on.
Let me do it.
I'm cracking. Okay.
Oh, that's so nice. There we go. Now, I didn't go beer tonight, Tony. I went with the Pinot Noir from Domaine Serene. I got a little granny glass of Pinot. So cheers to you guys. We'll get the Rockets again. Cheers,
PMP Army. Everything's going to be okay. Come back home, Dubs, and wrap it up on Chase Center floor Friday night. Because, the Dubs, come on, man. The Rockets shot 69% from the floor in the first half, dude. They also had 13 free throws to the Warriors 0 after the first quarter.
I mean, the disparity with the free throw. I don't know what the hell the problem is with the NBA and the way they officiate Warriors games. I mean, the second half, when they had that second unit in there, Spencer, Trace Jackson Davis, we got a lot to talk about with that group. Moses Moody. Our guys were getting effing hammered in the paint over and over and going for loose balls, getting rebound, and they were working hard. No help from the refs. Like not barely a whistle, dude. It was really frustrating. But the broad show question I have for you, Tony, as the Warriors kind of got their heads handed to them today, are you concerned with what you saw tonight? Does that worry you at all? Are you like worried going into Game 5 on any level with the way the Rockets played tonight and the way we showed up tonight?
No, I'm really not. Dude, the Rockets played with their pants on fire like their season depended on it. And they're going to do that again on Friday. But now the Dubs, it was kind of like not that they needed any wake up call, but it was just like, okay. And also there was just I told you today at Longbridge, I just didn't feel good about tonight's game. And another buddy of mine,
I didn't either. Frankly, even before the game, I was like, this might not go our way tonight. I just had a vibe. Because like you said, and by the way, I got to already interject with questions and comments with Creative Tony's speech over here. Okay, you said a second ago that the Rockets played like their pants were on fire. Interesting choice of words. Now, there's another saying on the streets where they say they came out with their hair on fire. So to differentiate between hair and pants, I actually have a hair on fire story to share with you guys really quick. It's a true story. Rags,
I'm very curious to see this because I'm excited.
This is true. Every word. This is how they used to do it in New Jersey back in the 80s. Everything I'm about to tell you is true. So in my high school, they didn't care what grade you were in when it came to gym class. Like you could be a freshman And all of a sudden you're stretching out in gym class with like seniors in front of you, guys that like outweigh you by 150 pounds. You know what I mean? Because like when you're a freshman, those guys are like grown-ups. You know what I mean? They're like adults, the seniors. Some of them had beards and shit. So anyway, we had this kid, Rags. Do you remember that kid named Zach Weinberg? Do you remember Zach Weinberg? Here's what I saw happen in gym class.
Weinberg. Don't mess with Zach Weinberg.
No, Zach Weinberg was a total hippie, total deadhead,
right on. Good,
flower child, like didn't hurt a fly. He actually is a sculptor now. He became an artist. He's a sculptor up in like Vermont or something. So here it is. We're stretching out in gym class. And Zach Weinberg in the 80s, he had one of these like, remember when dudes used to have like a tail in the back of their head? Not like a long, just that one. Okay.
We called it a rat tail. I don't know what we used to call it a rat tail.
Totally. We're talking rat tails here. So this kid is stretching out in gym class and he's got his little rat tail going. And one of the seniors, I think it was Brad Rickert, Rags. Remember Bradley Rickert? He was a maniac. He was like a senior. Dude, he reaches over with a lighter and lights the kid's rat tail on fire while he's stretching out. So I actually had a case where I saw hair on fire, literally. This kid's hair was on fire. And he didn't even know it. It took him like a second. And then all of a sudden it was like, there's a big, hey, what's going on over there? Like, because the teacher had no control. It was all hooligans as far as you could see. But anyway.
I wouldn't mind taking a lighter to the bottom of one of Dylan Brooks's little braids and see that thing just kind of set flames, just right over his head. I take that back. That's a violent thought. I shouldn't.
Nah, yeah, you're a pacifist. Come on, we're trying to be hippie flower children over here. And I can tell you this though. Final comment on hair on fire. Hair is extremely flammable.
Yes,
extremely flammable. I mean, that whole thing. He's lucky he snuffed it out. He could have gotten his whole hair singed. Anyway, back to the game. That was my hair on fire story, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. All right, Tony.
I did.
Did you? Oh, and by the way, I always have to ask the prerequisite because I am always interested, and it only happens in the first round. Did you go with our boys Fitz and Kalina, or did you go with the TNT National Fancy Pants broadcast?
How about this? I was watching Fitz and Kalina with Megan. We're on the couch, and Fitz and Kalina were raving about the Rockets, and she's like, "You need to turn this off. I can't handle this. You need to go to the national broadcast. They keep raving about the Rockets. I don't need to hear how good the Rockets are." And I was like, yeah. And then my son and daughter got involved. I'm like, all right, I'll turn it. And we were also trying to change the vibe too, because they were down, I think 20-8 when we turned the channel. But Paulie, I'm gonna take charge of the show for a second. Stand freaking by.
Sure. It's been too long. As always, Tekashi setting the tone for the show. Are you about to lay out the set list for us tonight, Tony? Is that what we're doing?
I am. Okay. We're gonna do Tony's top three. We're gonna do bookmarks, and we're also gonna do a mailbag because we have some great emails and photos in the mailbag. Robot Centaur, James Lazzotti, James, I apologize if I'm jacking your name.
One of these days, we're gonna get that right, especially when we come face to face. But go ahead, T.
Right. And then, we're going to fill it in, mix it in like Neil Denardi today at Longbridge was asking, like, do you guys like try to stick to a map or do you just kind of go? And we're like,
he ain't the first guy that's asked us that question. I mean, we've been asked that question for about 25 years by every boss we've ever had. Where are you guys going with this? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, I'm not sure, but we're way ahead of schedule. Shout out David Lee Roth. All right, Tony, seriously, let's go back to it. So, did you at any point, and I want to applaud the second unit, all the guys, because Kerr emptied the bench with about 5.5 minutes left in the third. He just said, exactly. All the starters get off the floor. Everybody else get out there. First of all, dude, you set up the banner for tonight on Twitter to promote the show, and you said it's like a Pat Spencer appreciation show. I'm so glad you did that because I've been if you recall, dude, I've been singing his praises all year. Every time Pat Spencer comes on the floor, good things happen. He's very sound. He's very tough. He's a little undersized, but he ain't afraid. He ain't afraid to go on the paint and mix it up with the big guys. He's a shooter. He can handle the ball, and I love his toughness. I mean, which was exhibited tonight. When
dude, 11 points in 14 minutes, I'll take it all damn day, and I'll also take a freaking headbutt. Şengün, I'm starting to think that Şengün is just as shady and dirty as Brooks, man, because he's out there throwing elbows at a guy who's a foot shorter than him. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And for no reason at all, Spencer was walking away from the play. He was walking away from it, dude. And then Şengün throws the elbow, and God bless Spencer for getting back in his face and throwing a little headbutt, man.
I loved it. Yeah, throw a headbutt, dude. I got to tell you, I was shocked actually that because to be honest with you, in real time when that play was unfolding, I didn't even see the headbutt. There was so much commotion, I didn't catch it. But I saw Trace Jackson-Davis step in, which I loved. I loved that he came to his teammate's defense right there and gave Şengün a nice little 2-arm shiver to the chest, which I thought was beautiful. And then,
do you know what I did see on that play? I saw Dylan Brooks mugging Moody on that play. No call. And then the ball bounces under the rim 3 times. And then Dylan Brooks acts as if he's getting fouled while Moody's got a hold for the jump ball. And did you see him at the end of that play? And it's like, dude,
I did.
I don't know, man. I know how bad Draymond and people on that bench must just want to, have a nice chat with him. I don't know, somewhere else, not on an NBA floor.
I don't think they want to have a chat. I think they want to wring his freaking neck. I really do. I know I want to wring his neck. I mean, he revels in being a villain. But the problem I have with Dylan Brooks is it's so forced. It's like, bro, I know you're a bad guy. I get it already. Cut the crap and just play ball.
Who forces it more? Ime, the coach, or Dylan Brooks with the mug? If
I was Ime, I know. I see him with that. And then he comes and stands right near our guys when we're warming up, whatever the hell that's for. Ooh, we're getting intimidated now. Oh, boy. He's doing that. He stands right near our warm-up line. It's like, dude, whatever, bro. We're not afraid of you, dude. Just go back over there with your guys. But I was thrilled that Trace Jackson-Davis gave Şengün a nice little shove. And I was surprised that he didn't get thrown out of the game. Nothing happened to Trace. He stayed in the game. And it was great to see him out on the floor. Moses Moody played great. They cut that lead to, I think it was 13 when they chipped away. And
right down to 13.
Yeah. And I think there was like 4 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter. I texted Tony. I'm like, is Kerr going to think about maybe he did put Buddy Hield back in the game, but I know the risk of guys sitting on the bench for an hour getting cold. You can't throw Butler back out there. You can't throw Draymond or Steph because something could happen. They could pull a muscle and it's not worth it in a game like that where you're down so big. But the fact that they chipped away like that, Tony, to me was very encouraging. And that's kind of why I know it was a second unit, but still at the same time, it was a nice fight they put up. And I'm feeling very confident about Friday already. I really am.
I love the fact that the Rockets had to put their starters back in. Like that's a win alone right there.
Yeah,
because
they
thought they were in cruise mode and they had to go back into the game. I love that. And the effort from all of that bench. I saw Robot Centaur. Dude, you got a great point, Robot, is that he said no Kuminga in the second unit. It's like, that was interesting.
Well, no. Hold your horses on that. No, I know, because I was thinking the same thing in the first half. I'm like, damn, still, even with this kind of blowout lead, nothing for Kuminga. It turned out, dude, he was sick. He was ill, so he didn't play tonight because he was sick, actually.
Okay, that's okay. All right. I mean,
I believe that because in a game like this, he would have hit the floor. Kerr has put him in already in this series a little bit. Yeah. So you're going
to be ill on a closeout game. I don't know, man.
No. I can't believe I'm rushing this guy's defense, but I want to be fair about this because don't forget, Podziemski was sick a couple of games ago.
It came out that Podziemski ate bad. By the way, Podziemski, what are you doing eating sushi in Houston, dude? Like, what are you doing? Come on.
Hey, how many people in the comments line, and Tony, I'm talking to you too, my brother. How many people in the polymath community have had food poisoning? Raise your hand. Dude, I'll tell you one thing right now. It was as close. I'm not exaggerating this, dude. It was as close to like a death experience I've ever had. I got a dose of bad chicken. It was chicken that I ate. It was 24. Oh yeah. No, dude, I didn't touch chicken for years. Undercooked chicken, you got a problem now. And sushi, to your point, dude, when I heard that, same reaction. I'm like, one, what are you doing eating fish in Houston? Don't eat any fish down there. And then number two, I was like, now I'm worried about sushi. You know what I mean? I'm like, now I got to like watch my back when it comes to sushi because I love sushi, bro.
If you go to Houston, yes, you got to watch your back. Out here in the Bay Area near the freaking ocean, you can get good sushi. I mean, I know Houston is, anyways, it's Podziemski.
Anyways, yeah.
The whole thing, back to your point, the Kuminga being sick is odd to me in a closeout game. Like, come on,
telling you what they're saying on the streets. I'm just passing along information. Yeah.
By the way, I heard that when you had your food poisoning, you had to go more than Butler's 2-ply. You had to go like 4-ply.
Bro, I was beyond ply. I was like a dozen ply. I mean, it was awful, bro. I'm talking fetal position on the floor in the bathroom, like thinking I was going to die. I'm like, this could be it for me. I might be checking out tonight because dude, it was, did you have an experience like that where you were so sick? You thought like almost started hallucinating. I was so sick. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really, really awful where you're just afraid to go anywhere that's not close to a bathroom.
Oh, dude, even now, I know. And by the way, shout out to Tony Soprano on the in The Sopranos. I think it was season 2, the last episode. He got food poisoning at an Indian restaurant. And I like when he calls up Big Pussy on the phone. Carmelo's like, Tony's in the bathroom really sick. How are you feeling? He goes, well, I ate the papadums. He was like, listen to all these, like, all these Indian dishes. But anyway, Tony had food poisoning. And then he gets dressed and goes out and he whacks Big Pussy on the boat. Anyway, so I'm just saying, to your point, Tony Soprano had a job to do. He threw his slacks on and he took out Big Pussy. You're saying that Kuminga should have thrown his game shorts on and balled.
I'm just saying, man. Like, you're in a closeout game where he would have definitely come in handy in that second unit.
He would have,
even to help spell the first unit when the game was still like not out of reach. But Paulie, I'm not worried at all about that game. We can talk about it in Tony's top 3, but I just feel like. I don't know. I'm not going to use the refs as an excuse because obviously Houston shot the lights out there. Like I said, 69% in the first half. I think they ended up 55%, but they were 9 of 15 from 3 in the first half.
Insane. No, everything they threw up was going in the free. It was just one of those nights, and the Warriors were not hitting anything. Like their starters were really cold, so it was a perfect combination. It was
sorry.
No, it's good. Patty loves that. Anytime you sing the Eagles, Patty's going to make. Oh, and by the way, Patty's a super. For God's sakes, get her up there. She was a super. Like
cover yourself. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, dude. No, say it again, T.
For Christ's sakes, will you cover yourself?
Yeah. No question. Yeah. You're wearing ladies' underwear. That's a serious disorder. Shout out to the late, great Bill Paxton in Weird Science.
Way too soon. I'm looking for Patty Super. Sorry, Patty. I apologize.
She's right up there. I see the colors. Yeah.
Got it. There it is. Patty, thank you. Oh, supporting Brooksy. Thank you, Patty. He rules. Brooksy rules. He's just getting going with the quality hang. So yeah. And Tolbert, I don't know if Tolbert's doing something tonight. I'm not sure, but John Lund tomorrow is doing something tonight also. And John Lund, Johnny will be back up at 8 a.m. He might not even sleep.
No, why would he? No, Jumping John's he's a freaking maniac. By the way, I was in Vegas last weekend hanging out with JC, not Jesus Christ, but Jeremiah Crow. Because sometimes I say JC and people are like, you shouldn't talk that way. I'm like, I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about Jeremiah Crow. Calm down. But anyway, I was hanging with JC. Yeah. And he goes, we had lunch together. It was great. And he was going, he goes, by the way, John Lund's in town. I go, what do you mean John Lund's in town? He goes, yeah, he's out here. John Lund I didn't cross paths with him, but he was in Vegas last weekend, just FYI. And you're right, dude. If he's not doing a show right now, odds are before the night's over, he'll be doing a show. And then like Tony said, when we wake up in the morning, he'll already be on the air. Johnny Lund is unstoppable with his show. Unstoppable.
He'll probably do a guest hit with Larry Krueger from like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then maybe get like a couple hours of shut-eye and then start the show at 8 a.m. So props to Johnny Lund. Tom Tolbert, I'm sure will be doing something tomorrow and or Friday. So the Basque is basking, as shall we say. Yeah. And also, by the way, Patty, you say that you sold Mikey's 1964 G.I. Joe doll.
What did you get for that? What kind of price tag do you get for something like that? I'm curious.
Yeah, me too. Way,
I wonder sometimes about all the old Star Wars crap I still have, like from my childhood. I have like a dresser drawer, Tony, filled with like Star Wars cards. Remember the Star Wars cards, like baseball cards they were selling back in the day? I got hundreds of them. And I've always wondered, are these worth anything? If they are, somebody let me know. I'm looking to unload. Anyway, Tony, yeah. Anyway, back to the bench. I want to talk about some of the faces we saw. Dude, Kevin Knox. He's out here.
I apologize. Sorry, I just have to apologize. I gotta recognize, I don't think we've seen this name before. Fasho 85.
All day.
Should we call him? Should we say that John Lund is Lundstoppable? So
Faux Show, hey, let me tell you what, Faux Show 85, welcome. And I need more riffs like that out of you, man. I don't know where you're coming from, but I dig seeing your name and I love the riff. Also, shout out Scott Saunders. Shout out to John Joseph. What's up? Oh, he's coming in. John Joseph. Star Wars stuff is all worth money. Okay. Noted. I got plenty, and I need to unload this crap. My kids don't want it. Nobody wants it, and I got like all this stuff from
bring it on to dude. Well, yeah, my son is kind of just passing out of the Star Wars phase. Although Andor and Disney Plus is keeping him in like just a little bit. But dude, we spent like I don't know a week during COVID building the big. Why am I blinking? Come on, the big spaceship that Han Solo flies. Why am I blinking on
Millennium Falcon? For God's sakes, what are you doing? Come on, man. You just hit Sasquatch too. You're all out of control now. Come on, pipe down over there. Yeah, be good to Squatch. That's my guy, Squatch. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot, man. By the way, what's up, Andrew? Andrew's on a flight. What's up, Andrew? Thanks for checking in, dude.
Hey, my brother. Oh, and by the way, he's going Darge Star. Okay, Darge Star. Very good. Panaki, what's up, my brother? Good to see you tonight. So anyway, John Joseph, what's up?
Sorry, Dom just said settle the Squatch. I'm going to let it settle on its own. The Squatch will settle on its own.
I love that Squatch, dude. That's like the best decorating maneuver that you've ever made on the show. By the way, how is that brewski from Lombard?
It's so good. And I just want to I know because Neil would appreciate this, Altamont Beer Works in Livermore. This is their like giant themed beer, Hum Baby. It's a good pale ale, really good. Hey, by the way, James Lizotte, type out how do you pronounce your name? Give us the phonetics, dude.
I'm saying it's Lizotte. I want to say it's Lizotte. I think it's got that kind of long E sound at the end. James Lizotte, am I right, or is it Lizotte? I think it's Lizotte. I'm throwing it out there. Creative Tony, also Stevie B comes in tonight. He goes, guys, sorry I'm late, and I got the perfect answer for you. I stole it from David Lee Roth. Anytime you're late for anything, you just drop it. I don't feel tardy. You know what I mean? That'll be on their heels. Oh. What?
Yeah, Lizotte. It's Lizotte. So James Lizotte. The E is Paulie.
As usual, I'm way off the mark. As usual, dude. I'm always missing the mark when it comes to names. Tony, speaking of names, real quick, I meant to do this at the beginning, so sorry I am doing it halfway through. I want to shout out good friends of ours over at the Last Dive Bar. These guys are a bunch of Oakland dudes who are really passionate about their A's, and they're heartbroken because their A's have left them. You remember a couple of weeks ago, we had Andy Dolich on, and he was talking about his book, promoting his book, rather, with all of the great Oakland stories and great Oakland characters over the year. So anyway, the Last Dive Bar, they become like buddies of ours. And thank you for the gear, you guys. We got the gear. It's killer. Tony's got his shirt. I got one. In fact, we who got the other one, Tony? Neil
Neil, the Oakland Coliseum shirt. He actually, I gave him the choice between the final Bay Bridge series or the Oakland Coliseum, and he goes, I like this Coliseum one.
He did. He didn't waste any time. He pounced right on it. But anyway, we just wanted to say thank you guys over at the Last Dive Bar. You guys are rock solid. We appreciate the love, and anything you need from us, you just let us know, man. And speaking of promotion, more house cleaning stuff real quick. Tony, tomorrow on the show, 11:30 a.m., we'll be joined by Alex Simon, who is the sports editor at SF Gate. And Alex Simon has been like a real supporter of our show and everything we've been working on. Like, he's written a couple of articles about us and about the Bay Area Sports Collective. So looking forward, and you're going to love him, Tony. I don't think you've met him in the past, but he's a really good dude, San Francisco guy. And by the way, dude, you know what's so funny? He and his pop used to hang out at the Canyon Inn. They're Canyon Inn people. Yeah.
Right on. Right on. I'm a fan of Alex's work, so I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow. I got to say, Panaki just checked in. He said he ran into the owners of the Last Dive Bar at the last A's game. They were awesome. They had a last hug together at the BART station. That's pretty rad, Panaki. Thanks for throwing that into the mix. Paulie.
Yes, sir.
I want to throw a top three at you because we can dive back into this game, okay?
Yeah,
and we got
yeah, dude. You're running the show tonight, dude. I'm just an innocent bystander. You take charge tonight, T.
Tony's top three.
I'm gonna try and double mouse this.
Tony's top three.
T3 time, kids.
Tony's top three.
Feed them strong, my brother. Feed them.
Feed the ducks. By the way, I saw my buddy Pete Hoffman on the comment line. He says Spaceballs greater than Star Wars, and I can't disagree. I don't know if I can disagree because I love Spaceballs, dude. Lone Star, Princess Vespa, Bartholomew.
Don't sleep on Rick Moranis with the giant helmet, dude. What's his name in the movie? He's got that oversized helmet. What's his name in that?
He is Dark Helmet.
Yeah, that's all. Dark helmet, bro, coming at you with the oversized head. I'm all about Moranis, dude. Don't sleep on Moranis. You know what I mean?
I love that you're going strong A on Moranis. I always thought it was Moranis, so I don't know if it's
I'm going to continue to mispronounce it. I'm more comfortable saying Moranis. It reminds me of Uranus, the planet out there in the solar system. I don't know. I call him Uranus, but I call Lizotti. So what do you want from me, dude? I'm here to butcher names. Line them up so I can mess them up. No, I'm just kidding. Tony, tell me. Oh, and by the way, for those interested parties out there, before Tony starts his top three, Lakers and T-Wolves are at halftime right now. T-Wolves up by 10, 59-49. I think the Lakers are done. I think they're done. I think they're going home tonight. Anthony Edwards is on a mission. And by the way, I heard a stat. Sorry to hold up your top three, T. We're going to get there real soon.
Unacceptable, Paulie, but that's okay.
You know what I mean? I thanks. I love the response. It's unacceptable. I heard this before the game. Are you guys aware of the fact that Tony's Los Angeles Lakers? Tony's a big Laker guy. And he talks a lot of Lakers with me off the. I'm kidding. No, he's not. But Tony, your Lakers have lost 12 of their last 14 playoff games. That is freaking insane. That I think the LeBron James era is starting to wind down, dude. I think it's really starting to wind down. Thank you, Dom. There it is, the LeBron action figure. Dom Peralta with a really funny line the other day on Twitter. He goes, "This is the brand new LeBron James action figure. It flops right out of the box." Bravo. Bravo. That's a great line, Dom. Flops right out of the box. I love it.
We might as well do this while we're here. I think this is the right thing. There's Dom putting the pins in the LeBron voodoo doll. Thank you, Dom. We're putting the hex on LeBron. Hopefully it can put this doll away for the postseason, maybe for life, maybe forever. Okay? So there you go, Paul.
Wait, are you ever going to get to, I'm about to reveal something to you that you're going to probably slap me in the face for, but I'm going to say this anyway because I'm going to be honest on the show. Always got to be honest. And I'm going to tell you that I'm actually starting to feel like I almost, I know it's going to sound crazy. I'm feeling like slightly bad for LeBron because he's just getting exposed now for what he is, like an aging player who's had a great career, who I think is going to end on kind of a quiet note. Like, I don't see LeBron James getting back to the fun.
You feel bad for that guy. Okay.
A little bit. I said, I got to reveal, I'm here to take the beating. I really am. And I'm not a LeBron fan even, but for this decorated career he's had, he's going to be 41 years old next year. And I think this is about it. Like, he doesn't have the team around him anymore. He can't take over games single-handedly. Not really, maybe once in a while. So anyway, and Noemi, I had no idea you were a Laker fan. It adds to your mystique, by the way. She goes,
totally does. Yes.
Totally like, I didn't know that. Noemi's a Laker fan. Beautiful. She goes, she said, I saw Dari scroll by. Scarlet Fire. Oh, boo effing who. I totally hear you, man. And my son, like, there's a lot of anti-LeBron James noise in my ear. All I'm saying is it's always kind of a bummer when, like, an iconic figure in any sport winds down. Like Wayne Gretzky, dude. When Wayne Gretzky ended his career, he was just kind of skating around. You know what I mean? He really wasn't doing that much. He was a Ranger at the end, which I liked. But at the same time, I'm like, Wayne Gretzky's not a freaking Ranger, dude. He's not. And he was just like milking the last end of his career, skating around, not doing much. I kind of feel like LeBron's getting to that point. Now, he's not washed up or anything. He's still a very good player, but he's not who he was. And this is it. Like, I think he's going home tonight, and I don't see much of a future with the squad he has around him. Like Luka, dude, you know what's funny about Luka as I watch him? Noemi, this show is for you. Who knew we were taking a Laker detour? But here it comes. Totally. I feel that's the way the show goes up. I feel like Luka, for the first time, I'm actually going to join in the chorus of that dude needs to get in shape. He just needs to get in shape, dude. You're a highly paid professional athlete. You're one of the best players in the world. Take it seriously enough that you need to shed, I don't know, 10, 15, and come back lean and mean and come back with your cardio up, dude. You can see, like, he's just not in the kind of condition I think he needs to be in. And I think that's pretty obvious. That's one of the reasons I think Dallas finally threw their hands up and said, you can have him. Take him. Yeah.
Two things, Paulie. First of all, Luka, he needs to tuck in his rabbit ears also. I don't know if you saw the video of him yelling, calling somebody a P-U-S-S-Y right in the second row. It's like, dude, tuck in the rabbit ears. Just play your basketball.
I did not see that.
And then I also I'm gonna say, Paulie, this is the guy that you feel bad for right here. Okay. This is the guy that you feel bad for.
I mean, not just
okay. Hold on. Let me pause it. Right. Can you give me two perfects? Give me three perfects.
What is this? This is fantastic. What is this thing we're watching? I love it. I love all this. Where does it come from? What is this? What is? I love it.
I just found it on TikTok right now, man. But it's just Mr. Peekaboo. You're feeling sorry for Captain Peekaboo. That's okay, man. That's your.
Hey, bro, Captain Peekaboo, brother, Captain Peekaboo. Shout out to the great Devo track, Peekaboo, Peekaboo. It's out there if you need it. Go to Spotify after the show and enjoy the sounds of Devo. That's de-evolution to you and me, Tony. All right, anyway, let's get into your top three. For the love of God, enough stalling.
Well, this is a quick one, and then we're not going to fly through the top three out of respect for Rags and his love for the top three. By the way, Rags, we both gave you, we blew you kisses today when we saw your framed photo today. We blew you kisses at Longridge Pizza.
I'm glad you reminded me of that, Tony, because I'm going to send Rags a picture right now that I took of that aforementioned Rags photo, which is still sitting proudly on the wall. Lumbridge, it's unbelievable. Yep. Rags, here it comes. I took this picture today, buddy. And you are right there next to you know what? It's a rag sandwich between the Grateful Dead and the Murph and Mac bobblehead. He's like the deli meat on the sandwich between the dead. Look at Rags accepting kisses. We'll go deeper into that later. All right, anyway, Tony, give me your top three. For the love of God, I'm waiting all night for this.
This is a quickie. We've been talking about it for a while, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to equate on a scale of 1 to 10 your level of worry or your level of concern for Game 6.
Okay, this is easy. I will give you a level of concern. 3. I mean, 4 tops. I actually feel very, very confident. Think of it like this, Tony. I think what we might have been seeing early in the show, or in the game rather, was maybe a little bit of fatigue too. I think the guys are getting a little tired. They have been balling their ass off. And think about the end of the regular season. They essentially had been playing playoff type games for the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season as they were jockeying for seed position in the West. So they've been through a lot already. I know it's only the first round, but you got older players on this team, dude. Draymond, Butler, and Steph are key guys, are all over the age of 35. So I think they could have been a little gassed tonight. But the positive of getting blown out like this is all those guys are going to have fresh legs. They're all going to be much fresher for Game 6 on Friday. And you got the home cooking. You got the crowd. By the way, I want to shout out Triple E, Eric Engel, with his Warrior podcast he does. I was a guest on his show before Polymath Particles tonight, and he and I were talking about Chase Center. And the crowd, he was pissed off too that the fans aren't putting their shirts on. None of us like that. But I will tell you this. I thought the crowd at Chase Center in Game 4 was one of the better Chase Center crowds like I've seen. Granted, I wasn't there. I was watching on TV, but you could feel it. You could hear it. And I expect on Friday with this kind of recipe, it's an elimination game. They just got smoked. None of our guys played. None of our key guys played in the second half. Not really. Yep. And it's Friday night, dude. It's a recipe for just an ass kicking. I kind of feel that. And like I said earlier, Steph Curry's had back-to-back games that were very un-Curry-like. I mean, they were very un-Steph-like. So he's due to pop. That's all I'm saying. Like, all those ingredients kind of take me to the answer where I said I'm revving at about a 4 with concern, which means not much.
2 things, Paulie. You mentioned Fresh Legs. So if you had to pick a themed song for Fresh Legs, would you go ZZ Top Legs, or would you go Van Halen Drop Dead Legs, or would you go for a third that I haven't mentioned?
Well, you can always go Rod Stewart, Hot Legs, Legs, and that tune effing rocks. I love you, honey. Bum, bam, bam. You want heavy guitars, you go to Hot Legs. But no, Tony, I'm partial to Drop Dead Legs for life. Yeah. Me and you bonded on that a long time ago because the outro jam in Drop Dead Legs, it's a funk free for all, man. Right. The way Eddie's laying down that funky groove, I mean, it's so kick-ass. See, this is going to get me in a big Van Halen thing now, but I'm going to Drop Dead. T.
That's one of those examples of I wish, I know I get it. Like, you need the radio edits and the fade out right when the band is heating up for a jam. I would love to get into the archive of that session and hear
how long that went on for. Yeah.
They're cooking as they're fading out. They are just starting to cook, and I'm like, dude, give me more of that. But
dude, Eddie Van Halen in that jam, dude, he is spraying notes like John Coltrane, dude. He's going off in that jam. Anyway, check it out. If you're not a VH head, you'll thank me tomorrow. Drop Dead Legs. Tony, go ahead.
No question. And also, what I loved about the second unit closing the gap tonight, is it really took the crowd out of the game. It took the joy out of the arena. You know, you can tell that the arena was really joyous tonight, really happy. They are up 30, and it's like, hey, if I'm a Rockets fan, if I'm Rod Brooks tonight, if I'm Hakeem the Dream sitting courtodeside.
What if maybe you're Billy Gibbons enjoying a Houston Rocket win? Guitar player in ZZ Top. He's going, I enjoy this game. Yeah.
It's totally, dude. Awesome. That's great. Yeah. And you know what? But they took the joy out of that arena when they closed the gap. And I'm like, that is a win. That is a win. And it put the fear back into the Rockets, I feel, because the Rockets were high flying, man. That first half was, you got to tip your cap, even though the refs weren't calling anything. That's not why they lost the game. Sorry, what? We
got a code red emergency going on here, Tony. And I agree with your take, by the way. You're right. The crowd was totally snuffed out and nullified. All right, John Joseph, listen, I mean, you and I, we already got a good thing going. Now we're about to go to another level. And Rags, what are you talking about? Drop Dead Legs video with Superman. I have no idea what you're talking about, but send it into our mailbox. I want to see that. John Joseph just checked in and he goes, guys, I got all kinds of studio outtake Eddie Van Halen jams. You know what we're going to have to do? John Joseph, send them in, brother. Send that S in. I need to hear as much outtake Eddie Van Halen material as possible. The more Eddie Van Halen, the better off we're all going to be. Tony, back to your top three. Sorry.
And I want to also give John Joseph love because I think that he said that he was drinking St. Ides malt liquor after Game 5 tonight because they drove him to drink some really thick, robust, high percentage malt liquor after tonight's game. So,
Tony, when was the last time you had a malt liquor? Tell me the truth.
College. Seriously, college. We used to drink Mickey's and and Old E were the two, but mainly Mickey's. Mickey's.
Okay,
right?
I never went down to the Old D, but I did my share of a Schlitz malt liquor Bull. You remember that whole thing?
Yes, I do.
The commercial, Tony. The commercial. Don't say beer, say Bull. That was the commercial.
Those 70s and 80s beer ads were the best. They'll never be repeated. And you know what? Hey, Budweiser, bring back the freaking Bud Bowl, dude. I loved the Bud Bowl. Do you remember the Bud Bowl during the Super Bowl?
Now that you mention it, I do. Yeah.
Bring it back. But we used to do Domino's night in college with my roommates / teammates. Every Wednesday night was Domino night, and you had to bring your own 40 to the. Then one day, my buddy, shout out Jason Blakely, who lives in Australia now. Great pitcher though, from Yavapai Community College in Arizona. Jason brought a 60-ounce Mickey's into the it was like a goblet, or like not a goblet, but like a huge, those wine jugs that are the ringlet that you can carry with your finger.
Tony's all about a good ringlet. I'll tell you that right now. A ringlet. Great word. And yes, I'm familiar with the ringlet. You can carry it around on one finger. You just stick your finger in the ringlet and throw it over your shoulder. Yeah.
So guys, I'm here. I'm here. Let's go. Yeah. So Paulie, number 2 in top 3, because by the way, I'm on a 5 for worry. Only because if they happen to just lose Game 6, then boy.
Then we got a crisis. Then we got a goddamn crisis on our hands.
Then all of a sudden Sunday becomes a stress bin, dude. And the whole weekend leading up to Sunday becomes a stress bin, dude. So it's not a must win on Friday night, but damn, dude, you need to take care of business at home, not go back to Houston, tied 3-3.
Okay, and by the way, I got to talk to Patty, the queen of the scene, for a second here. Patty's talking about drinking Slurpees back in high school in Napa and mixing Slurpees with wine and making it like an adult beverage. Let me tell you the difference between East Coast, West Coast. That's great. You were doing your wine Slurpees. You know what Rags and I were doing? True story. And his brother, Brian. Jesus Christ. We were doing Slurpees with vodka. Okay, Slurpees with that's how it used to roll. I'm just telling you what happened. All right, Tony. Anyway, from ringlets and Slurpee vodkas back to your top 3. Go ahead, brother.
Man, I got to shout out my grandmother, Elsie Tinelli. She used to just walk around the table and give us white wine and 7-Up when we were kids.
By the way,
take
a sip of wine. I was giving I don't want to get into this, but I remember when my son, I think it was Tommy's birthday, we took him to oh God, I'm spacing on the name. Tomaso's in North Beach.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this, dude. We had anyway, we had like a big family thing, and Tommy was sitting there and he's like, Dad, what are you drinking? He was a little kid. He was like 6. I'm like, oh, this is just some red wine for Dad, calm his nerves kind of thing. And then I was like, Tommy, go ahead and take a sip. And I saw some of the people like in the restaurant were like, oh, Oh my God! How dare he? Somebody called child, freaking child safety service or whatever because I was getting looked at like a villain.
Yes, yeah.
I gave my kid a sip of wine. Come on, what are you going to do? Anyway, I'm just trying to show him how the world works, Tony. You know what I mean?
It's grapes. It's fermented grapes, for the love of God. Like, come on, people, come on. Dude, God, you just made me think of something and it just flew out of my head. Oh, well, it'll come back.
Hey, Rags, sorry, one last thing. Okay, you got one and I got one. One Tommaso story. Rags, I can't believe that you remember the name of that place, but you're right. We took Rags and his wife, Tracy, to Tommaso's years ago. We're standing outside waiting. You know how you got to wait outside for your table?
Yeah.
True story. And Tommaso's is on a hill. So you're driving up Kearney and you get to Broadway. Dude, a limousine comes by with and it was like a bridal party limousine. Sunroof open, giant phallic symbol out the sunroof. Rags, do you remember that? Yeah, look what Rags just wrote. Look what he just wrote. Tommaso's night was the big dildo out of the limo. And I'm talking about
across the street from it used to be across the street from a strip club.
Yeah, the Hustler Club. That's Larry Flint's place there. Yeah. No, Tony, they had like this phallic thing sticking out the sunroof. It was like 6 feet tall, like a giant penis driving down the street. I was like, damn, Rags, welcome to San Francisco, my brother. You got it all. I can't believe you still remember that. Anyway, go ahead, Big T. Sorry, I derailed that.
I know, but I think I forgot, but it's all good. It's all good. We can just move on to number 2 of the of Tony's top 3 because it was going to be a quick 2, but then we got some diversions, which is fine. I like diversions. Number 2, I had this thought at the end of this game tonight because I'm watching as the final seconds are ticking down. Dylan Brooks is already like almost off the court, like not waiting for the rest of his team as the team is like the game isn't even over yet, and he's like under the basket walking towards the locker room.
Yeah,
you would think, I don't know, who knows what goes on in the locker room, whatever, hopefully it's a joyous occasion for them. But my question is, I had this thought, like, I wonder, do like his teammates even like him? And I just wanted to ask you, do you think that the Rockets teammates I'm sure they like his contribution, his physical contribution, because he is a damn good player.
He's a good defender. Yeah, he can muck it up. I mean, he serves a purpose. He does. Yeah.
Right. But do you think his teammates, because I played on many teams and really good teams where I'm like, that one guy, I'm just not a fan, but if game time, sure, I'll back him up. I'm just wondering, do you think his team likes him?
I think Robot Centaur is pretty close to it. He says, I'm sure his team tolerates him. And that's a good assessment. I think, to answer your question, Tony, I think his teammates, I think his whole act, it has like a time limit. It has an expiration date. And you saw that in Memphis. Warriors played them a few years ago, the year they won the title in Boston, and they had to go through Memphis that year. And that was the first time I'm like, this guy's an a-hole. This guy, Dylan Brooks. But I feel like he's a wannabe villain. Like, I don't even consider him like a legit villain. I was saying this yesterday because I watch guys like Bill Laimbeer literally pound on guys on the floor, and that's a villain. Those guys were out to like hurt you. And I think Dylan Brooks has some of that in him, but I think it's kind of manufactured. I do. And I'll tell you why. When I saw the Netflix documentary series about the Olympic basketball team last summer in France, there's an episode about the Canadian team. And they talked to Dylan Brooks extensively. And this is how he talks when he's not on the court. Anyway, we're working really hard. And I love my teammate. Like, he's all soft, like a librarian. He's all soft-spoken. So I kind of feel like that's probably who he is. He's probably like a nice guy, but he adapts this kind of jerk-off role when he's on the floor. And I think that I think there's an expiration date, to answer your question. I think they tolerate it, like our guy said, but I think it only lasts so long. Like, I guarantee you he will be on a new team within 2 years. He won't be in Houston because they get sick of it. They're like, this guy's just a pain in the ass, and he's hurting us with his antics. I think sometimes that plays against you when you piss off a team to the point that he pissed off the Warriors, and then they, so. Yeah.
And I was Fitz and Kalena were talking about that. Was it last game or tonight? No, it wasn't tonight. It was game 4. But they were talking about that. They were talking about the Canadian team in the Olympics and how they had experiences with him in the Olympics and how he was a nice guy off the floor.
That's what I'm saying.
He turns. I don't know, but I love Pine Needle's comment where he says, the dude just needed a cigarette, dude. Throwback to the days of like Fred Dean lighting up a butt at halftime in Candlestick, dude. I mean,
all the time. Yeah, cool. Smoking cools, dude. Smoking cool. You know what he's doing? Fred Dean would sit there in his number 74 jersey, hair all messed up, sweating, and smoking cools while George Seifert was going over the defensive game plan, like in the early 80s on the blackboard. He'd just be drilling cools. And I talked to Ronnie Lott about that once, and I was like, Ronnie, you know, Fred Dean, and he goes, bro, he goes, Fred Dean could do whatever the hell he wanted. He said he was afraid of Fred Dean. Ronnie Lott was afraid of Fred Dean as a rookie, and I get it. So, hey, smoke a couple cools and then go sack the quarterback, man. Fred Dean, that's my guy, 74.
Me too, dude. And shout out Vlade Divac for the Kings whacking down butts in the locker room during
Now that, dude, there's something more gangster. If you're playing pro basketball smoking butts, like, I don't think there's a more cardio, maybe hockey, but maybe, I mean, the cardio involved to play, at least in football, you get a tiny break. You go back to the huddle. You can catch your breath maybe a little bit. Basketball, nonstop, up, down, back, forth. Like, how do you smoke and be a world-class professional basketball player? I have no idea. It's beyond me. Although, if I could, I would. And I'll tell you right now, if smoking was good for you, I'd be smoking right now. Right now, I'd be smoking.
Before that guy, Angel Cabrera, allegedly became a scumbag, he used to smoke cigarettes on the PGA Tour. And then the rest of the players like, whoa, dude, that's performance enhancing because they relax him as he's walking up the fairway. So he's not, he's not allowed to smoke cigarettes anymore because they said the nicotine in the cigarette is like something he uses to relax him, and they said that's performance enhancing. And they
what about freaking John Daly? Doesn't he smoke butts out on the course all the time?
No, not in competition. He'll do it like, you know, I don't know, on the at the driving range or on the putting green, but he won't do it in competition because they're not allowed to anymore.
By the way, and also last one, Tony. Shout out Keith Hernandez and former Pirates manager Jim Leland. Those guys, Keith and Leland, they used to drill butts in the freaking dugout in full uniform, right in the middle of a game. The camera would show to the dugout, and there's Keith Hernandez smoking butts. But Keith Hernandez was smoking butts, winning batting titles. You know what I mean? Like, that guy could ball. And Leland just out of his mind drilling butts in the dugout as well.
Couple things, and we're gonna move on to number 3. But did I ever tell you about the college prank we used to do on my baseball team called the hot foot? Did I ever tell you about that?
Well, no, I'm familiar with the concept, though. Yeah, I know how it goes. Yeah.
You know the hot foot, okay, about lighting the cigarette with wrap a book of matches. You tear out the matches out of a book and you wrap it around a cigarette and you light the cigarette and then you put a piece of gum on the matchbook and then you stick it to the back of somebody's shoe. In this case, I'm on a pitching staff. There's a lot of downtime. And so, dude, we had fun with the hot foot. The best is like,
Tony, I don't think that the hot foot would be well received in 2025. Like that's in a previous era, dude. Hot foot is going to get poo-pooed. I mean, dude, you throw a hot foot on a guy now, you might get thrown off the team. I'm not even kidding.
Well, dude, my college team at St. Mary's, we were sponsored by Ham's Beer, dude. So, you know,
maybe the greatest can of beer of all time because it had like the actual cartoon bear on the can. You know, it kind of looked like Yogi Bear a little bit. And do you remember the slogan? Do you remember what their motto was on the can?
Well, Ham's the beer refreshing Hams. I remember that.
Oh, actually, you know what, Tom? My bad. I just confused. I was about to shout out another great kind of lost beer along the way. Shout out to Olympia. If you remember Olympia beer, that was the slogan. I remember on the can. It said, "It's the water." That's what it said on the can of Olympia. It's the water. Yeah.
2 things. I got to give love to the Orchid Room here in San Carlos. It's our local dive bar. And hi, Steve. It's a local dive bar.
Yeah.
But it's a local dive bar here in San Carlos. I had an ice cold Miller High Life the other night, and it was delicious. It was wonderful.
The best, maybe one of the greatest scenes of all time in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing is when the mayor, that character called the mayor, the old guy, he's just kind of walking around drinking the whole movie. He goes into the convenience store and he's like, "Where's the Miller High Life?" And the guy behind the counter is like, "No more High Life, no more High Life." And he's like, "This is the greatest line of all time." He goes, "No more High Life." And he's like totally having a breakdown. And so he decides he goes with a Miller Lite and one can, just buys one can, walks up to the counter, and he drops this line on the dude behind the counter. It's one of the greatest lines of all time. He goes, "You're asking a lot to have a man change his beer." And I'm like, dude, great line. You're asking a lot to have a man change his beer. Anyway, shout out to the mayor and Miller High Life. Live the high life, Tony. This is what I recommend.
Oh, absolutely live the high life. And then I saw Andrew Markoulis from Long Ridge Pizza. He had a great comment that I want to ask you, Paulie. Do you hate these Rockets more Oh, what did something get you on the comments?
My God, sorry, dude. That's why I can't look over there. I keep telling you guys this. This is my own. I got to control myself because I look over there and I lose it.
It's okay.
Sanchi coming in, looking ahead to next year's brackets. Hot foot versus hair on fire. That's a nice matchup right there. Different ways to play with fire. Yeah,
he said hot foot versus hot ponytail.
Yeah, well, I told you about Zach Weinberg. We lit his hair on fire. So yeah, hot foot against hair on fire. That's going to be a bloodbath. That one. DC's a super. Tony,
I'll throw him up there in a second, but do you know who's going to be in the bracket next year? Is Dylan frickin' Brooks is going to be in the bracket next year. I can promise you that. He might have won the whole frickin' thing this year if he was in it.
Well, Mahomes is tough to beat. He's tough to beat as long as Mahomes is around.
Dylan Brooks over Mahomes. Just
hey, man. Hey, Dylan Brooks. I'm going to beat you, man. Hey, don't touch me, dog. Don't touch me, dog.
Let's see, DC, Night Flight for the win tonight. Thanks for the love. Dude, of course, DC, thank you, brother. And that's why we're here, man. We want to have a good time, and I'm glad you're having a good time, too. Right behind DC, here comes Dub City. Give him some love, too, Tony. Another super.
Oh, by the way, I was going to give Dub City some love earlier. Dub City, he said he called Dylan Brooks a fake funk ass. And I was like, that was the freaking best way to put it.
That's well said. I agree. And by the way, y'all talking old school beer reminds me of the 1050 days. Shout out the nifty goddamn 50. Let me tell you what. I don't know if anybody ever saw my handiwork, but when Tony and I and Rod Brooks and all those dudes were working over at the Ticket 1050, it wasn't even KMBR 1050 yet. This is back when we had the Raiders. Right. That was like our first big radio job, dude. That's when we really got our feet wet and everything. But I used to, and that was like the slogan we had, only on the nifty 1050. So, dude, I used to go to Mel's Diner with Creative Tony and all these other dudes. Shout out John Stevens, Darren Chan, the whole thing. We'd be sitting there at Mel's Diner, like late at night, like trying to soak up all the alcohol. And I would go into that bathroom and they have a chalkboard in there. You could just write stuff on the chalk. Every time I went to Mel's, I used to write nifty 1050 on the black. No explanation, just nifty 1050. And I did that all over the city. I was scrawling nifty 1050 all over the place. And then Hammer was like, I don't want to call it nifty anymore. Don't call it nifty 1050. It's not a good slogan. I'm like, dude, the slogan rules. Nifty 1050 rules. I've been graffiti arting the whole city with nifty 1050. Anyway, thanks for the super. I appreciate it. Both of you guys. Thank you.
DC and Dub City, thanks you guys for the super. Yeah. Andrew just had a quick question. I just want a quick answer, Paulie. He said he hates these Rockets more than the James Harden Rockets. I want to know what you thought about that. Do you hate the Dylan Brooks Rockets, or do you hate the James Harden Rockets? Like, who do you? Because I would say I think I hate these guys more. I think I agree with Andrew. I think I hate these guys more than the James Harden Rockets.
You know, the James Harden Rockets were a pretty damn good team. They just couldn't get through the Golden State Warriors like a lot of people during these years. Like Dame Lillard, that guy has basically got denied a ring because of the Golden State Warriors. They could never beat the Dubs. So, you know, Chris Paul, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not a fan, but he's a Hall of Famer. Harden, I'm not a fan, but he is a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Like this team right now, what are we doing with these guys? It's a bunch of guys. You know what I mean? There's no like Hall of Fame talent. Like people are going, oh, Jalen Green had like one big game and he scored 8-9 points in every other game. So I don't want to hear about Jalen Green. So I'm less concerned with this team, but they're a bunch of punk asses. They're a bunch of punk asses. But back when the Dubs were going through those Houston Rockets with Harden, dude, Harden was flopping his balls off on a nightly basis to the point of the absurd. He's kind of reeled that in over the years. He's not doing that quite as much because they changed the rules a little bit. I thought that team was more annoying, but this team we're playing right now to me is more like unlikable. They're easier to hate, in my opinion. That's just me.
I agree, Paulie. No, let me see something. If I can do this.
You do whatever you
Did you get that sound effect, Paulie?
Yeah, do it again, though. I don't do it again.
No, hold on a second. All right, there we go. I just want to give a sports flash, PMP sports flash update one more time.
Okay, all right.
That's our new sports flash sound effect. Lakers.
Tony, I love it. Don't even give me a warning. Just blast that thing whenever you want to. I love shit like that. Go nuts. Yeah.
I wonder if I can pump that. Can I pump that the same way that you were pumping yours? I don't think I can, but Timberwolves, Lakers, 5 minutes to go in the third, 73-68 Timberwolves, just FYI. So
thank you. And just a quick response to Lily Merchant, who I'm a big fan of Lily Merchant's, and she's shouting out Lone Star beer. I love Lone Star beer too. It's a big Texas thing down there. And I've had that like when I've been in Oklahoma and stuff. Yeah, Lone Star is really good. Tony, go ahead.
Okay. And if we're going to shout out like other beers from other states, I got to shout out the Montucky Cold Snack. That's the name of the beer. Montucky Cold Snack is the name of the beer, dude.
Montucky, whatever it takes. Yeah.
When I go to Colorado, you can find them everywhere when I'm in Colorado. So shout out to the Montucky Cold Snacks, dude. Yeah.
Hey, dude, John Joseph Yingling. We've had it many times. Yingling. I think that's a Pennsylvania beer, just like a Rolling Rock. Anyway, Tony, give me. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier today, we had a phenomenal lunch at Long Ridge Pizza. Myself, Paulie, Dom Peralta, our official art director, volunteer art director, by the way. Thank you, Dom. You freaking rock. We love you. And Neil Denardi. And Andrew, you were there in absentia, man. We were sending the love, and we were feeling the love from Tahoe from you, buddy. But so today I arrived on a bike because the train to the bike, right? It's the way to fly. But the last time I went to Longbridge, I arrived via Lime. Or no, I didn't arrive. I left via scooter.
Yeah, this is where I got to turn my back on you, buddy. This is where I got to. You're on your own at this. Once you start hopping on scooters, bro, you're on your own. You're on your own.
You can rent these all over the town. You just got to get the app on your phone.
Do you have a problem with just simply walking down the street? Is that like frowned upon now? Is that frowned upon? We can't walk anymore. We can't walk.
I love to walk, but I had to go. I was going all the way over to North Beach, right? No, actually, where was I going?
The way over to listen to this guy.
I think I was. No, I know. I was coming back. I came back from North Beach the other day with Megan and the kids, but where was I going? I forget where I was going.
We don't know. Yeah,
I was at Longbridge. This is the day I did the show from Longbridge, and you were in Vegas, I believe. And I did the show.
That was last Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Neil wasn't at Longbridge yet, and I said, "Oh, Andre was there," and I was talking to Andre, and Emmanuel was there too. What's up, Emmanuel? By the way, when you're at Longbridge, ask for Emmanuel. He'll hook you up.
That's my boy, Emmanuel. That's my boy. They got so many great people down there. We'll get to another Longbridge in a couple of minutes. We're almost there. But anyway, I'm an Emmanuel fan as well. Tony, go ahead.
Totally. I'm out front of Longbridge trying to get my Lime scooter all revved up and ready to go, because you just got to put the your destination and all that stuff in the app. And all of a sudden, this dude, I didn't look up, but I hear this dude walk up to me and he goes, "Hey, what's up?" And I look up and it's Neil. And
nice.
And so I'm like, "Yeah, Neil, what's up, dude?" And he goes, "Hey, man, I see what you're doing."
Yeah, and don't think this thing can go unreported. We're all over this. Yeah.
Exactly. He goes, I feel like I owe it to Paulie to catch this on video.
Thank you, Neil. That's why Neil and I get along so well. He knows when it's time to break Tony's balls, he's going to join me, and I think we're all going to join. You don't have where are you going with this, by the way?
So I have video footage from my ride, and I want to ask how you cannot support this. Okay, so here we go.
Here we go. Oh, Jesus. What's up, Pete? Get out of here with that shit. Look at this kid. Bro. Here comes the car. Wham! Yeah.
Why do you not support this, dude?
Look at you getting reckless. What are you doing? What are you, Tony Alva? In the middle of effing 3rd Street now? Look at this kid doing figure eights and shit. What are you trying to... Look at the cars right there. You know what I'm doing if I'm right behind you, bro? I'm right on your ass. I'm right.
What's up, P?
Yeah, what's up, P? Exactly. Yeah, you know what's coming your way. Look at this kid. Jesus H. Christ. I mean, I can't help you. And then, Tony, did you do like all the other kids that don't give a shit about the city of San Francisco and just dump it on the corner like it's a piece of trash? That's the other thing that drives me crazy. These e-bikes and these freaking scooters. Dude, we were better off years ago without this crap, when you could just walk down the street not having to trip over a guy's scooter that's been discarded. Like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'll just leave it right here. It's like, you've seen it? They're stacked up on the corner. It's a mess.
So I feel like that is reckless, Paulie. I'm a very responsible Lime scooter user where I lock it on a bike rack and I take a picture of it and I send it to Lime, because they ask you to take a picture. They say, take a picture of your Lime scooter locked. And I'm like, wow, this is such an enjoyable experience. It's inexpensive, and you can cruise through the city. You can go on different back streets.
Let me ask you a question, Tony. Let me ask you a quick. I got to interrupt you right now. Give me like your top 2 or 3 like coolest guys of all time. I have a very famous top 10 coolest guys of all time list. Guys like Bruce Bochy are on there, Pat Riley, Joe Perry, guys like that. Just the coolest dudes to ever walk the planet. Give me a couple of your favorite, most cool dudes of all time. Go ahead, randomly, anybody.
Eddie Vedder is always going to be atop that list. Eddie Vedder,
right there. Perfect. Yeah. Eddie Vedder. Whoa, I ain't getting on no scooter. I'll tell you right now, Eddie Vedder, he ain't riding a scooter around San Francisco. I can promise you that. And neither is Bruce Bochy. And neither is Joe Perry. And by the way, Don Draper, throw him in the mix too from Mad Men. He ain't getting on no scooter. He's too busy drinking martinis, dating ladies, and smoking butts. That's it.
And hold on. We got
encore. Back that up with another.
We got 78-77. Lakers just went ahead of the T-Wolves. 2 minutes to go in the third.
Okay, we're going to wrap pretty soon. We're going to wrap. I want to wrap within the next 10 minutes so we can dismiss the class. We'll all go watch the end of this game because you're right. The Lakers have taken a lead. Now I'm actually getting curious. After I disparaged LeBron, now he's coming back. So I totally disagree with everything you just said about scooters, but we can agree to disagree. Tony and we've had a love affair for a long time. We know how to coexist. Go ahead.
You know how you said you found a bond, like an instant bond with John Joseph, right? I had felt that instant bond with Ray, Noemi's better half.
Yeah, he rules. Yeah.
Ray just said Woody Harrelson might get on a scooter, and I think he's right. I think he's right. Woody Harrelson? Yeah, I think he's my kind of guy. That's gonna say, you know what? I think Laird Hamilton is another guy who's like a
bullshit. Now here comes the profanity. No. Laird Hamilton, this is a world-class surfer or something. He ain't getting on no scooter, kid. I guarantee you that right now. That he's not doing that. Laird Hamilton walks over, he looks at the scooter, and this is what he says.
What the hell?
He looks at Tony doing figure eights on 3rd Street, and this is what he says.
What the hell?
And by the way, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Well, I was going to say, Laird Hamilton walks over to a scooter, and he says,
I am absolutely jacked out of my mind, bro.
That's what Laird Hamilton said.
Hey, by the way, the best thing about April turning into May is that we're only 3 months away from Tim Ryan. And let me tell you guys something. I'm not making this up. Everybody on the comments line, this is true. I love Tim Ryan. He knows I love him. Like, we get along great. Every time he sees me, he hugs me so hard. He kind of cracks a couple of ribs and collapses a lung. He doesn't even know his own strength. In fact, last time I saw him, he hugged me so hard he lifted me off the ground. Paulie Mack, bro. Boom, right off the ground. My feet are dangling like a little kid. But I got to tell you, during the off season, he goes so far underground. Like, you could text him. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't getting a reply. You ain't getting a response. I can guarantee you that.
Robot Centaur is asking for more.
I am absolutely jacked out of my mind, bro.
There you go, Robot. That was for you, buddy.
My favorite time of the year, my favorite season of the year is the Tim Ryan time of the year. Forget Christmas, forget about Easter. It's all about the Tim Ryan. This is the time to remember. It's the Tim Ryan time of the year. Okay, Tony, anyway, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
Hey, Danny Ogden, I see you on the comment line. What's up, Danny?
Danny.
He says Tim is probably riding horses right now in the middle of the night.
And you know what? I'll go one step farther on that, Dan Ogden. I'm going to go ahead and say he's riding horses in the middle of the night, like with night vision goggles on and shirtless. He's definitely shirtless. I don't want to get into it, but I just want to say that I'm a huge Tim Ryan fan, and he does enjoy going shirtless, especially when he works out. He'll do curls like with no shirt on. Anyway,
give me a minute here. Also, Dan Ogden, please on the comment line, let us know Tom's schedule, if any, for tomorrow and Friday, because we want to promote it on the show here tonight. And also, can I just do something real quick, Paulie? Have some fun real quick.
Yeah.
Allow me. Here we go. No.
Guess what?
I am absolutely jacked out of my mind, bro.
There ain't no rules.
Okay,
well, you're emptying the bench tonight, man. You got Crater Face. I got who else was that? Guess what? Chris Walken. Nice.
Christopher Walken, and then one last. It's 80-79 with 20 seconds to go in the third.
All right, let's get it going. Let's get out of here so we can dismiss. Go ahead.
So now we're going to graduate from top three, because I take it you're not down with scooters. I apologize to the people that are scooter friendly. We're a friendly group. We're a nice bunch. And Paulie, if you ever want to come aboard, I'll even share a scooter with you if you'd like.
Although I'm good.
Actually,
I'm good.
That's illegal.
Yes, of course it is. No, I'm just telling you right now, Tony, I'm much more comfortable just simply walking down the street. I enjoy walking. I like walking.
Tell me, if we had the chance, maybe it's a great photo op too, for you and I to be like Ponch and John from Chips, but we're on scooters.
Now you're talking. If you want to talk comedy, I'm interested. Yes.
Okay.
I would throw on this highway patrol outfit. By the way, Ponch and John, dude, in Chips, you talk about tight pants on Robbie Ray. Go back and watch Chips again sometime as an adult. A lot of homoerotic undertones going on there between Ponch and John. I'm just throwing it out there gently for your consideration. But the slacks, dude, the slacks of an Eric Estrada. on chips. I'm telling you, it couldn't be any tighter. They're like spandex in the 70s. But yes, I would do that. I would throw a highway patrol outfit on with you, with the shade, the helmet, and that I would do just for the sake of comedy. Yeah.
Okay, good. So maybe we might have to do that later on. Then and maybe we'll call Lime and say, hey, we got a great idea for an ad campaign, and we'll see what their response is. Dude, Dub City, those chips guys cleaned up with the women.
Well, they did. I mean, even today, I think Estrada's out there still swinging. He's a coxman. He really is. Yeah. Well, I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you what's going on out there. Yeah. Don't look at me.
I was going to graduate into the mailbag portion of the show before we wrap tonight, and then we can have people watch the fourth quarter of the and they can get their Minnesota bandwagon gear on, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to root for the Timberwolves hard. Although it does, if they stretch out the series, it's not a bad thing, right? If they stretch out the series, it's not a bad thing, because hopefully the Dubs win on Friday, and then the T-Wolves and Lakers they're still beating each other up,
Yeah. Oh, John Joseph, I know the episode you're talking about. They had like this pseudo kiss band on Chips. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's great knowledge. That's great Chips knowledge. They had like an episode where they had like a band dressed up kind of like Kiss that they had to go investigate. Anyway, Tony, give me the mailbag. Let's get into it.
Dan Ogden says it's TBD with Tolbert, because Tolbert's coming back from Houston, and we'll let you all know tomorrow during the show what Tom's doing, maybe Friday, or maybe later tomorrow afternoon after our show. We're 11 a.m. tomorrow. Maybe Tom does something in the afternoon. Danny, thank you for the update.
And by the way, and last thing on the Bay Area Sports Collective and Danny Ogden, who works very closely with Tom Tolbert, if Tony's not on the air with me, if we're not doing a Polymac Particle show, if Tom Tolbert's not around, he's on a plane or something, Rod Brooks isn't doing a show, I guarantee you Johnny Lund will be doing the show. Yes. Because like I said, dude, I'm not sure he ever gets off the air. Johnny Lund is born with a microphone in front of him and his headphones on. So anyway, my point is, if we're not working, Johnny Lund will be. Tony, go ahead.
Like it was said earlier by, I forget, Faux Show 85, I think his handle was. Faux Show 85 said he's Lundstoppable. So there we go.
Completely. Mm-hmm.
And Pauly, so this is from the mailbag. These are people that send us. Yeah, let me change the banner here too. These are people that send us stuff, and they can email. You guys can email us at polyspod. polyspod@gmail.com. And then you can obviously follow us on our socials. Oh, I should update this, because we're also on Facebook now too. At Polymax Particles on Facebook. Check us out. Follow us on there too. If Facebook is your jam, check us out. But send us emails, polyspod@gmail.com. These are emails. And so check this out. This is Robot Centaur. He said, hey, I was on vacation in Sayulita, Mexico. And so first of all, I'm going to send this picture. He sent us this picture. Look at that scene from Sayulita, the beaches of Sayulita, Mexico. He says it's a great vacation spot, and it's underrated because it's not like your major destination, one of the major destinations of Mexico. So he said, I sent that photo. Look at that sunset photo. Is that gorgeous?
Go down there, you get some of that local Mexican kind of homegrown herbal delish. You watch that fight. You watch that sunset. You maybe grab a Dos Equis like a gentleman. And that is a beautiful setting. Beautiful. I've got vacation envy right now. Oh, nice. What is that?
Dude, this is a tequila tasting that they did.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah,
tequila man. Tasting. How badass is that?
Where does Creative Tony come down? I don't think I've ever seen you with a shot of tequila in front of you. I mean, because everybody has like that one bad night with tequila and it like scar you for life. Have you had your bad night with tequila like the rest of us?
I love tequila. I love tequila. And my friend Pete Hoffman, who was on the show earlier, he makes a great ranch water, man. But the key to his ranch water is crushed ice and Topo Chico mineral water, or sparkled water, and a full squeezed lime in there. And
hey, thank you, Tony.
I'm also a mezcal guy too, but I like mezcal. I know a lot of people. It's very polarizing. Mezcal's kind of polarizing. I love mezcal.
Hey, shout out to Tommy's on Geary and what is it, 22nd, 23rd. They got great margaritas, great tequila in there. Check it out sometime. All right, Creative Tony, very nice. I'm getting vacation envy. What else you got in there?
And then I just want to give a picture of Robot Centaur and his lovely bride in Sayulita, Mexico. They sent that photo in too. It's a great shot. Dude, by the way, one of the reasons I put this up here, Pauly, is because respect, Centaur, for the ability to rock the tank top, dude. I don't have that ability.
Listen, it's coming soon, dude. Well, you've been dancing around this for 3 months now. Robot Centaur's doing it. I'll do it, and you're going to do it. We're going to go tank top. We're going to have a tank top show. I'll tell you what we're going to do. The first time, and if you don't have one, just make one. Cut up an old T-shirt and fashion your own, like Sid Vicious. Just cut the T-shirt up. Tony, here's what we're going to do. As soon as we get our first heat wave, one of these Bay Area like 100-degree spells where it's like that for a week, we're going to tank up. Me and you, we're going to tank up. And Robot
my daughter Olivia is going to have to give a nice trim on the shoulders and portions of my.
I'd prefer the fur. I would prefer you in your furry state. I'm just going to request it. I've seen the hairy shoulders, and I salute them. I do. And don't be afraid, dude. Sonny Corleone, James Caan now in Godfather 1. He spends half the movie walking around in a tank top.
Dude, you can see the fur. It's like a
saying.
pad. They're like shoulder pads. They're like shoulder pads.
It's thick. It's like a Boston Terrier. You know what I mean? He's got that fur. He's got like a coat of fur on him, and he's walking around proudly showing it off. And you're an Italian, dude. Don't be ashamed. It's your heritage. You gotta
rock it. You gotta rock it, dude. And Christian and I always Rags. Yes, Narrett. He knows the story that I told. I don't know, like a month ago about when I nared my back in Hawaii. That was not a good experience. No. Don't ever nair your back, everybody.
I'm not going to nair anything. I don't own nair, and I'm never going to buy it. Don't even worry about it.
And Daniel Ogden, I saw your comment. Yes, I still drink room temperature water. That's the way to go. I don't drink ice cold water. He asked.
Tony used to harass his assistant Shannon Kaler, who's a rock star with the Stone Foxes. He would bark orders at him. It's incredible how abusive Tony would be, and me too. We both abused the kid because we got abused coming up. It's a cycle. You know what I mean? But anyway, Tony was like, he would yell at Shannon. We'd be in Tony's studio at KMBR, and he'd be like, "Shannon, go get me a blend. Go get me a blend." And I'm like, what the hell is a blend? And here's what a blend is. A blend is a cup or glass or thermos, a water bottle filled with a combination of hot and cold. That is what you call a blend. And Tony, your instincts are correct. Doctors recommend you drink warm water as opposed to cold. It's just food for thought.
I don't go warm. I don't go cold. I go room temp, Paulie. So it's about 3/4 cold and 1/4, or maybe 2/3 cold and a third hot.
Dub City's a super, and he's got a legitimate question. Let's address this. Okay. Paulie in a room with Jimmy Butler and Tim Ryan. Can Paulie keep his composure easily? And let me tell you why. Now, granted. I'm not exactly, you know what I mean? I just want to explore all the interests in my life. I like to explore. And I would say this, Tony, that Jimmy Butler, my new man crush, there's no telling what could happen. Although I doubt there's any interest coming from him to me. That's fine. But when it comes to Tim Ryan, too much fear. I'm terrified of the guy because I mean, like, he could break me in half over his knee like a toothpick. And so could Jimmy Butler. Don't think Butler couldn't too. But no, right now I'm more dedicated and focused on Jimmy Butler. And I love the question, Dub City. That's how we keep it honest and open on the show. And thank you for the contribution. Tony, go ahead.
Tim Ryan's very excited about your Jimmy Butler man crush.
I am absolutely jacked out of my mind, bro.
No question. And thank you, Dub City. Cheers, my brother. I'm glad you dig it, man. Yeah.
As we continue on here with bookmarks, I had a couple more. This is from NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC. He went to the Freestone Peaches show last Friday at the Felton Music Hall. And if you don't know, the Freestone Peaches are the incredible Allman Brothers cover band that does the music justice. They play it the way it should be played, and Paulie sits in with them. You said August or October? When's that gig coming up?
Yeah, come on. It's so funny you're bringing this up right now. I was talking to Jeff Faust, the bass player, last night. We were actually had a long conversation about the Warriors. What, T?
Oh, well then stand by, because you were talking to Jeff Faust. That's the picture. That's the picture that NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC took of Jeff Faust. That's the bass player for Freestone Peaches, giving Paulie a nice friendly bird.
Hey, I love it, man. Jeff is the greatest. I love this dude. And the gig is at Sweetwater in Mill Valley. It is a Saturday night, y'all. It's a Saturday night, and it's Sweetwater. The gig is October 4th. And I'm going to be taking care of some vocals on that gig, so it should be a lot of fun. Come on out.
Oh, that'll rip, dude. That'll be great. Now we're going to get to James Lazat, because he sent these in. I said, hey, James, thanks for sending these in. I'm going to hold these off until Wednesday night's mailbag. So here is James and his lovely bride at Longbridge. They went into Longbridge before.
Nice.
I think this is before game 3 or game 4 at Chase. I can't remember which one, but they were on their way to Chase. And they went into Longbridge beforehand, and they took a pic in front of our merch stand at Longbridge. And then they sent another one because they had to do it justice. They sent another pic. Where is that other photo right here? Where they're standing in front of the rag photo.
Yeah, nice, dude, nice. Yeah. I wish Rags could see. Rags, you have no idea like how much of a cult celebrity you are out here in the Bay Area. And James, compliments to you and your lovely wife. You guys look great. You're looking like great Dub fans, and thank you for representing PMP very much. I mean that. I really do. I mean it. So cheers to you guys, and thanks for the photos. Tony, pause the mailbag. For tomorrow, because I want to finish these up tomorrow. But I do. It's funny you showed the Longbridge thing. I want to talk a little Longbridge right now, if you don't mind. Is that okay?
It's tied. It's 82-82, 9.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
That's what I'm saying. As we like to do on the Wednesday night flights, I like to dismiss the class so we can see the end of whatever game is happening. And this is a good one. It's tied up, like Tony said, after this PMP sports update. I actually think I want that louder. Can you make that louder? Like, blow my ears out, dude. Blow it out.
That's about as loud as I can make it now.
That's how I want it. I want it louder than hell. Shout out Motley Crue Theater of Pain, louder than hell. Peter Hoffman, what's up, my brother? Great to see you a couple of months ago with that pastrami sandwich. Don't think I've forgotten. I haven't.
Oh, pizza super. What up, Petey? Thanks, brother. Nice,
hey,
man.
Big T, what was the name of that joint we had lunch at with Peter with the pastrami?
So that is called Refuge. There's one on Laurel Street in St. Carlos. There's also one in Hillsdale Shopping Center in San Mateo. It's a pastrami haven for you pastrami heads.
Here's my one time only. This is a one and done performance of my only first and last song tribute for Refuge down in is it San Carlos, Steve? Is that where we were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
No, you don't have to eat down at Refugee. Don't have to eat. Anyway, that's my song tribute to Refuge. Great food down there. Great pastrami. Thank you, Peter, very much. Great to see you, my brother.
Thank you, Pete. Love you, brother. That's awesome. So you want to get into Longbridge? That's, of course. Why not?
Want one more explosion, though, and give it to me super loud, like really loud.
Hey, I'm going to do explosion right. I'm going to start Longbridge off with pizza porn.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, for God's sakes. Let this roll. Let it roll. I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. Jesus.
Right. That is the Detroit style square pie. And then today and on, that's tomorrow. That's
no joke.
That's their featured pizza tomorrow. The Detroit style square pizza with the crispy burnt cheese on the sides. And then today was chicken parm Wednesday. So some chicken parm porn. Okay,
oh,
so look at,
that's America. Look at that. Look at how it's stacked up, too. You got two levels of chicken cutlets stacked up, dude. I'm all about stacking. I'm about stacking deli meat. I'm about stacking chicken parm. Because most places give you one level. You get one level of a chicken parm, and that's it. Right. Neil's like, screw that. I'm double dosing, bro. I'm going to stack these cutlets up. So it's funny you bring that up, Tony, because I actually had a chicken parm at Long Beach today. I did it right in front of you. I was scooping the sauce onto my sandwich, and I recommend everybody get down to Longbridge Pizza on 3rd Street, 2347 3rd Street. It's the laid-back vibe. It is very serious pizza with the sourdough crust. Just to focus on what I enjoyed today, Tony, I took some of the Vinny's Gabagool, tremendous. I had a half of a chicken parm. I got the other half in the fridge, just waiting to be unleashed. I got the Polymac pizza, the particle pie, dude, with the sausage and the onion. It's really good. Like, I don't want to like just try to drive you away from the other menu choices, but I'm dead serious. The Polymac pizza is really good. Give it a shot when you go in there. I ate one today. In fact, right after the show, I'm going to heat the oven up. We're going to do some more while I watch the end of this Laker game. By the way, Tony, give me another explosion real quick. It's time for another PMP Sports Desk update.
No. Give me Principal Pauly for this update. I want Principal Pauly. Come on. Principal Pauly or Satan, either one.
No, I got you covered. And by the way, when you're talking about Longbridge Pizza, I'm going to let Danny Aiello do this talking for me.
This is my pizzeria.
You're damn right, Danny Aiello. Rest in peace, brother. One more time.
This is my pizzeria.
Okay, and as far as Tony was looking for, I think this is where we're going to go.
I'll play the sounder again, Pauly, and then you can jump in, okay? Are you ready? Okay, ready?
Yeah, we got to... The problem with this stuff is I can't get through it because I'm laughing too much. Oh, we have a PMP sports update from the sports desk. I'm sitting at the sports desk, by the way. T-Wolves 84, Lakers 82, 9 minutes in the fourth.
Over. Out. I'm like a pilot on a plane. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be descending into SFO. Go ahead and smoke them if you got them. And
Hey,
that's what
By the way, if I was the pilot, that's what I'd be saying, shit like that.
we got to.
the best part is, Paulie, you don't need to put your hands over your mouth because
Why am I doing that? I don't even know. It's for show. Yeah, this is your captain speaking. Paulie Mack going to be taking this bird down nice and gently in the SFO tonight. Go ahead and light him up if you got him on the smoking airways, and enjoy some Longbridge pizza as we descend. And our flight attendants will be handing out free slices and Vinny's Gabagool for everybody's enjoyment. And when you get to San Francisco, go ahead and visit the Haight Ashbury. Shout out 710 Ashbury, home of the Grateful Dead. You guys enjoy yourselves, and is your captain over? Okay.
All right. Anyway, Tony, how did I do? That was Captain Paulie Mack. Did I do all right?
You got me, dude. You got me. So Andrew had a great idea. One of these days, we got to do a PSA for how you reheat pizza by Principal Paulie. Okay.
I don't have enough time to get into that right now, but I'll just say one thing. Take your microwave and throw it out the window. Don't ever put pizza in a microwave. That's my biggest and maybe the best thing I could pass along to my real true friends in life. Yes. Don't ever put a piece of pizza in the microwave. It comes out like a wet sponge, and that's not helping anybody. It's all about reheating it in the oven. Take the extra 5 minutes. It's so worth it because the crust will reach. In fact, there are some cases where, like, the next day, the pizza might even be a little bit better. Everything's nice and settled in. You reheat it. You get that crispy crust. And I go, dude, I go so far, Tony. I have a pizza stone in my house. So
Noemi just said pizza stone in her outdoor grill. Yes, the pizza stone
Noemi,
is the way to go. Right?
I'm telling you, Noemi knows. She just knows all the ins and out of the PMP community. And you're right, Noemi, it's all about the pizza stone. I go 375. That's my oven. I'm a 375 guy. Maybe 5 minutes on the stone. Bam. In fact, that's what's going to happen in about 10 minutes. So, Tony, Longbridge Pizzas, your one-stop destination for great food and just great accommodations. Like, Neil makes you feel like a family member. So do stop by. And like I said, try the Paulie Mack particle pizza and then get back to me. Let me know what you think.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I'm not. Tony, I'm going to give you the floor for the final, your final take, and then we're going to wrap.
All I got to say is I had the mushroom pizza today, and Neil revealed to me that it's probably his favorite pizza, and I loved the mushroom. And I also had the California pizza, which is kale and
California, bam, 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 profit on the burning shore. Bam, 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 bam. I got that, by the way. I got Scarlet Fire, Eyes Estimated, Terrapin. Tony, go.
That was true story. I felt that eyes. I knew that eyes was coming. We were texting in the first set. I'm like, I think he's going to get an eyes.
That was a kick-ass eyes too. Yeah. It was a kick. It really smoked that one. It was good. Yeah.
Shout out the without the eyes. That's with on. Is that Hampton Eyes with Branford Marsalis in
Nassau Coliseum? 320. Yeah, 329.90 Nassau Coliseum. By the way, you ready for this one, Tony? True story. I went to the show the day after. Okay. I missed the Branford show. I get to the parking lot and people are like walking around like, dude, the greatest show that's ever been played was last night. And you know what though? Don't sleep on 330.90. Don't sleep on it. They opened with the help of Franklin's that night. That was my show. Anyway, Tony, let's get back to Longbridge. Sorry.
No, but I also want to say Neil is so sly. He just slides over a tiny pliny because their beer selection. I don't want people to forget about the beer selection because we talk about the food. The food's great and the vibe is so infectious, but it's also, there's really good beer. So if you want a good place to have an ice cold beer and some great food before the Giants games this weekend or Dubs game 6 on Friday, Giants are home tonight. I'm sorry, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday day, Sunday day. Get into Longbridge pre or post game, and like I said before, and I'll say it again, Mike Damone, you won't regret it.
Yeah. So use everything. Use your body.
Use your face.
Use everything. Dude, shut up, Mike Damone. He's out there somewhere. Can we get Mike Damone on the show, Tony? Can I task you with that? Find him and book him. That's all. Find him and
Robert something. Robert
Romanis or something like that. We can look it up. We'll find it out. Yeah.
It's Robert Romanis. That's what it is. Yeah.
Use your hands. Use your body. Use your face. By the way, Tony, I want to thank you, dude, especially for introducing the new PMP Sports Desk explosion sound effect. Yes. I'm going to need that about 100 times. That's the problem. And I acknowledge my problem, which is I have like the mentality of like a 9-year-old kid. And when I find something funny, I want it like over and over and over again. So tomorrow, get ready. We're going to do a lot of explosions tomorrow. Hey, I want to thank everybody for stopping by tonight for real. I freaking love you guys. Without you, there's no show. So thank you. Again, I really mean that. I want to say that as often as possible. Christian Nareg, DC, Tommy Peralta, Stevie B for life over there, man. Miguel, Noemi, Patty, freaking Leah Phillips, like all of y'all, dude. Thank you for supporting the show. We're going to try and give you the best show we can on a daily basis, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Tony, let's dismiss the class. Get teacher David Lee. Get Mr. Roth in here if you could.
I will, but I saw a couple of requests for a reprise of this.
Drive safe, man.
You can take from Longbridge to the Giants game. So you can take that scooter and, I would say ride safe, my friend. You
Four
stay off
sets.
the sidewalks.
That's 4 sets right there. Look at a guy walking down the street. He's like, look at this jackass. You know that's what he's thinking right now. The guy in the shorts, when you drove by, he's like, look at this punk. How about getting off that thing and walking down the street? Anyway, I'm kidding, Tony. I love you. You want a scooter? You ride scooters as much as you want. I could care less. I do like breaking your balls, though, and that's going to continue tomorrow. Where's David Lee, T?
I'm going to try something here.
Yeah. Hey, that worked quite well. The explosion arrow, David Lee. I'm down. Yeah. Why don't you take us out tonight? Let's switch it up. It's like when Phil Lesh would take a vocal. You know what? I'm going to shut my mouth, and Creative Tony's going to take us home. T, and thank you again on the comments line. Patty, Miguel, DC, Robot Centaur, James, Sanchi, Patty from Napa, Miguel, Tony, the floor is yours. Take us home, kid.
Oh, Paulie, I'm sorry, but I just remember you said Sanchi, and Sanchi sent something to us today. I gotta halt everything. Just give me another 30 seconds.
This unprecedented.
Sorry. Like weird science. We're sorry, dude. Sanchi sent this in today. We have to show this, Paulie, because of our love of the Sasquatch. Okay, and when I showed it to you earlier today, you're like, dude, show it on the show today. Sanchi, here it is. This is Sasquatch, the musician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's his song called Levels. Okay. Look at this guy.
No, I don't know.
Come on. What do we? Come on. All day.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, Squatch. Go ahead, Squatch. By the way, don't get a suit. I don't know how much we can play, but I love this.
Isn't that amazing? I'm going to go a little deeper and see what happens when you go deeper.
Hey, stand by. Yeah. Oh, now you're going to do ads.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, close it down. But tomorrow I want to revisit that, and I want you to take note. There was a stand-up bass right next to him. I don't know if you saw that. Did you catch it? There's stand-up bass like Rob Wasserman used to play. We'll explore more of that tomorrow. Thank you, Sanchi, for the Sasquatch Jam. I love that, dude. Tony, the floor is yours. Take us home. You.
I'm getting the outro bed going. Hey, I just want to re-emphasize what Paulie was saying, how thankful we are for all of you. And
no joke.
Every single day, Paulie and I thank our lucky stars when we get together and say, what are we going to do for the show today? And how can we try to, just take everybody away from the normal everyday BS and just laugh it up and have a good time and spread good vibes and enjoy each other's company. And we did a little video today at Longbridge where I said, you can always eat more, you can never eat less, but I always feel like you can always laugh more. And that's what we're trying to do tonight and spread the good vibes. And it does not happen without you guys. So cannot thank you all enough. And Paulie, I can't thank you for having me along with you on this ride, because it's truly a wonderful thing. And I just want to thank you all. That's it.
Love you, Tony. Love everybody for checking in. We'll see all of y'all tomorrow at 11 a.m. And we'll talk to Alex Simon from SF Gate about the Warriors series. He's been covering it game in, game out. Creative Tony, go heat that pizza and go T-Wolves. We'll see you in the morning, bro. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.